Hi everyone, welcome to my vlog. If you haven't been here before, this is where I chat about gigs I've been to and cool new albums I've been checking out. Maybe talk about horror films, anything that's of interest. So yeah, thanks for being here, and let's get started. Let's look at January. It's been a long fucking month. It's finally over. But we had some highlights. I've got some new CDs, that's pretty cool. Let's start with South of Salem. South of Salem, their second album, it is Death of the Party. I should have remembered that, but I didn't. It's actually a really good album. My band's supporting these in Swansea at a festival in May. I saw South of Salem support Wednesday 13 last year in Manchester. I really enjoyed the show, so I thought I'd pick up a copy of this new record. It's really good. For a band that's allegedly completely independent, they do a hell of a lot of gigs for a band that's independent. You know, it's like they do this full time for a living. I mean, you know, I can't help but feel someone somewhere's pumping a hell of a lot of money into them. But you know, fair play. I mean, they're a really good band. They're tight as fuck, and they're really going for it. I'm pretty sure they supported Wasp like all over Europe last year, if I remember correctly. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, they seem to be getting everywhere, this band. There's a lot of opportunities been opening up for them, and to be fair, they're worthy of it. They're really good. They've got some great songs, and you know, obviously I wish them all the best. So yeah, Death of the Party, some cracking tracks on here. Jet Black Eyes is probably my favourite. Vultures is pretty cool. I think they're nice and heavy, but the only little criticism I have of them is that they can be a little bit in the territory of American mainstream rock now and again for a British band. Occasionally they sound a little bit Nickelbacky or like a heavier Puddle of Mud sometimes, but they're actually better than both those bands. But it makes them marketable, I guess. So I've no doubt that they're going to do much bigger and better things than what they're doing now. So yeah, if you haven't checked them out before, check out South of Salem. It's a good album, this. It's worth a listen. There's something in our eyes, well, we don't believe the lies. There's something in our eyes, well, it's falling from the sky. The Mighty Saxon. I think this is their 24th studio album. It's fucking insane, isn't it? I've got 7 including this one, I think, and a bunch of compilations and a live album and stuff, so I haven't even got half their back catalogue, and I feel like I've heard pretty much everything they've got to offer. That's really harsh, isn't it? But I'm not going to lie to you, I lost he's scratching my eye, that's something fucking wrong with me. I felt like I lost interest in Saxon. I don't know if anyone else out there feels the same way as me, but it was also samey in terms of production, songwriting, and I just kind of felt over the last few albums that I'd already heard it all before, and I'd heard Saxon do Saxon better. And it just wasn't particularly interesting. So I don't know what inspired me really to pick this up. I just had a little listen to one of the songs on YouTube, and I thought, fuck it. But yeah, it's surprisingly very good. For me, this is the best Saxon album in quite some time. Yeah, Hell, Fire and Damnation it's called. If you're a fan already, you've probably already got it. But I just feel like it is the same old stuff, but it has been, how can I explain? It's just better. It's just a little bit better. Sometimes a band strikes gold. Well, I wouldn't say gold. More like kind of bronze, I guess. Strikes metal. But yeah, there's definitely an improvement here. This is the strongest Saxon album for some time, and I really enjoyed listening to this. It could be because Brian Tatler from Diamond Heads joined the band after the long-time guitarist Paul Quinn retired last year. Although Paul Quinn is actually on this album on a couple of tracks. So I don't know. It doesn't say who wrote what. It just says Biff Byford wrote all the lyrics, and I assume the music's written by the band. It doesn't say otherwise. So maybe it's Brian Tatler that's kind of shot a little bit of energy back into Saxon. I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. If you didn't like Saxon before, you're not going to like this. I'm not going to lie to you. But if you are a fan and like a bit of old school heavy metal, check it out. Lucifer 5. Joanna Adonis's band. It's their 5th album, hence the 5. So yeah, this is really, really good. I've got the other albums as well, so it's not much of a surprise to me. It's very much a continuation of the previous one in terms of style. If you're not familiar with them and you like kind of vintage sounding, old school heavy metal, more kind of classic rock sort of heavy metal, then this is definitely worth a listen. Lots of occult vibes in it, sort of a bit of a doom vibe as well. It's pretty fucking cool, and yeah, definitely worth a play. Dark clouds are coming, they're black today. There's no place that you can hide for sure. And the last one I'll talk about today is the new Magnum album, Here Comes the Rain. I'm still waiting for my fucking CD to arrive, to be honest with you. I've listened to it online, but I bought the one with the bonus DVD, the live show on it, so I can't talk about the DVD because I haven't seen it. But yeah, it's a decent album. As you probably know, the songwriter and guitarist Tony Clarkin actually died a few days before the album came out. It's all very sad. He's a really cool guy, actually. I met him years ago when they did their final ever shows at Wolverhampton Wolfen Hall. They did 2 days, and until they reformed like all the other bands of that era do, you know. But yeah, anyway, I remember I went to the show with a friend of mine, and we basically went backstage afterwards. We just kind of like sneaked in, and the band were there with all their friends and family, you know, having some food and drinks and things, and instead of kicking us out, they were really friendly, and they gave us all beers and some food actually, and they signed all our CDs, we had our photos taken with them and stuff, and they were just really, really nice and cool. And you remember these things when you're a kid, especially, you know, the musicians that were awesome, and I'm really pleased that you turned up, you know, and those guys were so cool. And it's a real shame that Tony's died. He was one of the good guys in the industry, a very, very talented dude, and he will be missed. So I assume that means no more Magnum albums, but they've definitely ended on a high note. I would say that the last few records have been very, very consistent. That kind of classic rock, AOR sort of sound. You know, I wouldn't say anything they've done in the last sort of 15 years has been anywhere close to the classic stuff, like On a Storyteller's Night, which is a brilliant, brilliant album, worth checking out if you haven't done so already. I've only been to one gig this month. I went to see Saint Agnes at the Factory in Manchester. It's the first show of their tour, which goes all over the UK and all over Europe. I believe it's still happening now. So yeah, it was cool to see the very first one. So yeah, the support band was Crash Face, but I didn't actually see much of them, to be honest, because I got there late. So I saw about 1 or 2 songs. High energy, kind of cool rock band. I can't tell you too much about them because I didn't really see enough of their set to talk about them properly. I'm not one of those people who's just going to talk shit about a band having seen them for 30 seconds. You know, I don't work for Kerrang. So yeah, Saint Agnes anyway, let's focus on them. Fucking brilliant band. I've seen them loads and loads of times before. The new album is ace. If you saw my video on the best albums of 2023, it was quite high up on my ratings. I can't remember where it went now. You'll have to watch the video then, won't you, if you want to know where I put it. It was in the top 5, I'm sure it was. Yeah, it's a fucking great record. As expected, the band's on point. Just a great live band, full of energy. The bass player, the original bass player left. They think they've had session people. The bass player at the show anyway was actually the guitarist at Crash Face. I can't even speak tonight. What's the matter with me? Yeah, the guitarist at Crash Face was playing bass for them. So I don't know if she's a permanent fixture or just helping them out. I don't know. But she's really, really good. And the band looked right, if you know what I mean. With some session players, they look like an add-on, you know. But she actually looked like part of the band, and so they really should totally bring her on board permanently, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, the band was awesome. Song-wise, they did, I think it was 7 songs off the album, and 3 older ones, like Repent, Vampire. What the fuck else do they do now? My brain's melted. But yeah, it was a 10-song set, or 9 songs, then a 1-song encore, which was Follow Me off the new album. I was quite surprised that it was only a 45-minute show. Not a moaner or anything. It didn't really bother me because the tickets were cheap, and it meant that I get to go home early, get some food, and let the dog out for a piss. So it's no biggie for me. But yeah, something I've noticed is that a lot of up and coming bands are playing shorter sets now. It's not uncommon to see a band play for 45-50 minutes. Whereas this makes me sound really old now, but back in the day, headline bands would always play for like an hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours. Like when I saw Saxon, I saw Queensryche years ago, it was 2 hours. But yeah, 45 minutes, fucking hell. And I thought about this. Why do a lot of bands? Is it because they can't be asked? And I don't think so. I mean, band like Saint Agnes certainly have got the songs, and they didn't play anything off the first album. They could have easily filled an hour and a half with quality music, and I know the whole point of it was to promote the new record. But yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? And I've had a thought about this, and I think maybe it's to do with having plenty of time to sign stuff afterwards for the fans. You know, because that's obviously where a lot of bands' income comes now. Or perhaps it's because bands now are a lot more hands-on. You know, if you're doing a tour for like, you know, a month or 2 straight, that's you know, it's knackering. You know, I've done it, and it's hard work. And I think when you're not just a person in a band, you know, who gets to sleep in a nice hotel room or whatever and gets driven around, you know, in this day and age, when you're doing everything yourself, you're doing the merch yourself, you're carrying all the heavy equipment around, you're doing your own sound checks, you know, you're driving the van, you're doing everything, then it takes a much bigger toll on you. So maybe a lot of younger bands are doing shorter sets just so they don't die, basically. Maybe it's like destroying them, I don't know. But anyway, I've got some clips from the show, so check it out. And yeah, if you get a chance to go see them in the future, if you miss them on this tour, then do go. that's my January roundup. We're a little bit into February now. Trying to think if I've got anything exciting lined up this month. Not sure I do really. March seems when it's all kicking off in terms of lots of albums coming out and bands starting to tour and things. But yeah, I'll come up with something. I won't be lazy. I'll do some videos. Don't forget, Midnight Lust by Lesbian Bed Death comes out on the 1st of March through Wormhole Death Records, so make sure you pre-order that. And I'll speak to you soon.